Hi, I'm Tom Lupfer, president of Lupfer Landscaping, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of the newest sustainable landscaping practices, removing turf and replacing it with low maintenance perennial plantings. Because turf requires too much maintenance and too many materials to be sustainable. It requires 26 mowings, a core aeration, dethatching, a spring cleanup, 3 fall leaf removals, 5 fertilizing applications, 3 herbicide applications, and let's not forget watering 3 times a week, every week for 25 weeks. And what if there's a problem with this drug-addicted carpet? Then it's a fungicide, a grub treatment, or an herbicide application. Instead, this properly planned perennial garden requires less of everything. Maybe 3 waterings a year, 4 maintenance visits, and that's all. And if it really works, you don't even have to weed it after a while. Yes, beds are easier to maintain. The idea is to perform a turf audit to see what function the turf is performing. If the function is to sparsely populate the ground under a maple tree, you might want to remove it and install something else. If it is on a slope and meant to control erosion, then maybe you want to keep that grass. And if there are kids in the house, then the more turf the better, because it's all a matter of how you're using the turf. Okay, so now you want to be sustainable and make that changeover. But sustainability teaches us that it's not just a matter of why you're making the changeover, but also how you make the changeover. Traditionally, we would come out and use a sod cutter to remove all that grass with the top layer of soil and then dump it off-site. Then we bring in new topsoil, rototill it, and then level it. It is quite a process and involves a ton of material. But that's not sustainable. The new practice is to apply Roundup to the area to kill the grass. Then we mow the straw as low as we can and leave it right there. Finally, we apply 1/2 inch of leaf mulch, edge the new bed, and it's ready to plant. As an installation guy, I love this method because it saves time, money, and materials. And as a maintenance guy, I love this method because the reduction of weeds afterwards is incredible. The dead sod forms a barrier that the weed seed simply can't penetrate. Here's when some people start squirming in their seats because they just can't contain themselves. But you're using an herbicide. Yes, I can see you out there. Yes, you in the blue shirt. This is the fine line between sustainability and environmentalism, and here's the argument. A small amount of Roundup in exchange for all of that material reduction is worth it. I'll bet I saved more gallons of fuel than I used in Roundup. And that alone should be worth it. But the argument continues. From the maintenance point of view, ensuring that you're starting weed-free is a much more sustainable method than trying to weed it by hand for the next 3 or 4, 5 years. How much labor will be saved? Game over. So, to wrap it up, sustainability tells us to think about the whole picture. Yes, remove the turf and replace it with perennials, but also make sure the process is sustainable as well. Using this practice meets the sustainability trifecta. It's environmentally friendly because you're reducing the amount of materials used on site, and you put the right plant in the right place, which means they're healthier and they'll live longer. It's economically feasible because not only are you reducing the long-term maintenance cost of the property, but you're also reducing the cost of the initial installation of the project. And finally, it meets the client's need because it's beautiful, the plants are thriving, and it saves you money, which everybody likes. The landscaping industry is changing, and this idea is part of the new way of doing things. You can either get on board now or get on board later, but it's only a matter of time, and it's up to you to decide when.